In a mozzarella factory, milk arrives cold in insulated tankers and is tested before unloading for things like smell, appearance, temperature, acidity, contamination, antibiotic residues, which can block the starter cultures, and fat and protein levels, which affect yield and texture. Approved milk is pumped into cold, gently mixed silos. The factory then standardizes the milk's fat-to-protein ratio for consistent mozzarella, pasteurizes it to reduce harmful and unwanted microbes, cools it to the right warmth, and adds carefully measured starter cultures to begin controlled acid development. Then coagulation happens, which means turning liquid milk into a gel. The plant adds rennet, an enzyme that makes milk proteins link together. Some factories also add calcium chloride if the milk has been pasteurized hard or stored a bit longer, because calcium helps form a stronger curd. After the curd sets, it's cut into even cubes so whey can drain out. Smaller pieces dry faster, larger pieces stay wetter. Then, gently stirred and sometimes warmed to push out the right amount of moisture for good stretching. The whey is drained off and saved for other uses, leaving curd that still needs more acidity. The curd is then held while cultures lower the pH, with factories checking pH and doing stretch tests. Too little acid means it won't stretch. Too much makes it grainy and brittle. So the goal is the exact acidity where the curd turns smooth and stretchy when heated. When the curd reaches the target acidity, it moves to the stretching and kneading stage, often called pasta filata. This is the signature mozzarella step. The curd is chopped or milled into smaller pieces so heat can penetrate evenly. Then it is mixed with very hot water or steam in a stretching machine. The heat and acidity together cause the curd proteins to align into long strands. Inside the machine, rotating screws or paddles knead and pull the curd until it becomes glossy, smooth, and elastic, like a thick dough. Operators monitor temperature and texture because overheating can make the fat leak out and create a greasy cheese, while underheating can leave lumps and poor stretch. The cheese is formed into its final shapes. Factories use molding heads, extrusion nozzles, and cutters to make blocks, logs, balls, pearls, or shreds, depending on the product. For fresh mozzarella balls, the hot cheese can be portioned and dropped into molds, or formed by rotating cups that pinch off equal sizes. For low-moisture mozzarella, used on pizza, the cheese is often extruded into large blocks and cut to standard weights. Speed and uniformity matter here because the next steps, like cooling and packaging, are designed around consistent size and temperature. Cooling is done quickly to lock in the structure and stop the cheese from continuing to change. Fresh mozzarella shapes are typically cooled in cold water baths, sometimes with chilled brine, so the surface firms up and the shape holds. Low moisture blocks may pass through chilled air tunnels or cold water sprays. Fast cooling helps keep moisture where it should be and reduces microbial growth. It also prevents the cheese from flattening or deforming while still warm and soft. Once mozzarella balls are formed, factories move them toward packaging using gentle, food-safe handling systems designed to protect their shape and smooth surface. The most common setup is a stainless steel conveyor line with soft contact surfaces, where the balls roll or glide forward instead of being pushed hard. Many plants use modular plastic belt conveyors, interlocking plastic links, because they drain water well, are easy to clean, and let brine or cooling water drip away as the product travels. The belts often run at low speed, with side guides, rails, that keep the balls centered without squeezing them, and the conveyor frames are open underneath, so operators can wash and inspect them easily. Because fresh mozzarella is wet and delicate, transport is often water-assisted rather than dry. Right after forming and initial cooling, the balls may ride in shallow flumes, channels of chilled water or light brine, where a controlled flow gently carries them forward. Flume transport is popular at high volume because it reduces scuffing and flattening, and it keeps the surface cool and hydrated. At the end of a flume, the balls pass over dewatering screens or vibrating drain conveyors that shake off excess liquid before the next step, preventing puddles and helping the packaging area stay controlled. Packaging lines space mozzarella cheese balls evenly on conveyors, using timing wheels, gates, and sensors so containers can be filled on rhythm. Automatic machines place cups/tubs, or form pouches from film, dose the right amount of mozzarella by count or weight, and add brine with precise liquid fillers. Then seal with heat-applied lids or pouch seals, often with controls to prevent leaks from liquid near the seal. The sealed packs are then checked by weighers and detectors, printed with dates and batch codes, labeled, grouped into cases by case packers or robots, and finally palletized and wrapped for cold storage and shipping. Ricotta is usually made from whey left over after making cheeses like mozzarella, plus sometimes a small amount of milk or cream to improve yield and texture. In a factory, sweet whey is pumped from the mozzarella line into a ricotta vat, filtered to remove curd bits, and then heated. As the temperature rises, the remaining whey proteins, that didn't become mozzarella curd, start to denature and join together into tiny white flakes. Many plants adjust the whey's acidity by letting it naturally acidify a bit or by adding a food-grade acid to help the proteins gather more efficiently. Once the proteins float up into a soft cloud on the surface, the plant holds the temperature briefly so the curds fully form, then skims them off gently with continuous belts, rotating screens, or ladle-style skimmers. The curd is moved to draining screens or perforated baskets to release excess liquid. Then it's cooled, optionally salted, and packed into tubs. Because ricotta is high moisture and delicate, it's typically handled gently, kept cold, and shipped fast. After ricotta curds are skimmed from hot whey, factories drain and cool them fast so the texture stays fluffy and the product stays stable. Dewatering happens on drain belts, vibrating screens, or perforated drums to remove excess liquid and hit a consistent moisture level. Then, the ricotta moves into a balance tank with very gentle agitation so it doesn't get smashed or turn pasty. Many plants use jacketed tanks or scraped surface heat exchangers to bring ricotta down to a safe filling temperature, since warm ricotta can separate and loses shelf life faster. For packaging, a container denester places cups/tubs onto conveyors, and servo-driven volumetric fillers, or piston depositors, portion ricotta into each cup. Thicker styles may use auger fillers, and lines often reduce air pockets so weights stay accurate and seals stay clean. Cups are sealed on inline or rotary lidding machines with heat-applied film or foil, sometimes with gas flushing. Then pass check weighers, metal detection or X-ray, date/batch coding, and vision checks for lid alignment and readable codes. Finally, packs are labeled, collated, case-packed by pushers or robots, palletized, wrapped, and moved quickly into cold storage in a high hygiene area with CIP cleanable equipment and frequent sanitation.